Welcome back. There's several mentions of unicorns in A Song of Ice and Fire, and they're mostly believed to be mythical creatures, and I think that's wrong. So let's talk about why. I mean, most of our characters are used to riding horses everywhere and maybe seeing the odd horse. But there's a dead elk being ridden up north, so that's probably hard to believe for most characters as well. Let's get into it. So they're mostly referred to as being on Skargos, which is an island far up in the north, kind of aligned with the wall. People are taking that with a wide berth, because if you go too close to the island, the jagged rocks, the island itself is rockier than Robert and Cersei's marriage, but there are rocks out in the surrounding seas that are gonna fuck up your boat. So people pass by it. They get a glimpse of things on the island and describe them as unicorns. I mean, nobody's describing them as horses. They're, we assume, four-legged creatures with one horn. We have animals like that in our own nature. Well, the rhino for one. That's really fucking obvious. That's not really going to get up a mountain, though. We have goats that grow crazy-ass horns. And there's the Sowler, which is a one-horned goat. It was called a unicorn. It's not a fucking horse though, is it? We get this quote from Jon about one of the wildlings having a helm made from a unicorn's head. And yes, there is paste in that world. Arya uses it in the Mercy chapter to fix a horn onto the stranger's head. So yeah, the wildlings could have made that helm, but they're also, they've got fucking giants and mammoths. That's probably come from a real unicorn. Bran also gets told from a child of the forest that the unicorns are all but gone, and whilst the children of the forest are probably lying little bastards, they exist, so yeah, I believe them about the unicorns at least. Let's talk about this quote where Jon is seeing through the eyes of Shaggy Dog, who is on Skargos. Poor Shaggy Dog has been injured by a goat's long horn, and let's play devil's advocate, there's nothing to say that this goat didn't have two horns. But that's probably one of them unicorns everyone's been talking about. We get this quote from Dany, and she's probably learnt from books and drawings the sigils of the Westerosi houses, so she has an image in her mind of what a unicorn is. She's describing this guy's hairstyle as one single horn, it's a unicorn. It doesn't mean to say that he's a horse though, does it? We also get this quote about Euron bringing a unicorn horn to the Kingsmoot as part of his treasure offering. And yeah, who's to say that this horn didn't originally come as part of a pear from a different animal? But he's creepy, and I believe him. That's probably a unicorn horn, and I don't want to know how he got it. Even Davos believes that unicorns exist there, alongside cannibals, which is probably another mythical-ish kind of thing, where it's like, it was one time, dude, and the tale just gets out of hand. Someone has seen something with one horn, and the tale gets out of hand, and it's made out to be this mythical, magical creature, and it's simply something that has evolved to live on the island that has one horn. So this expectation of a unicorn being a horse with a straight spiral horn is something that we as the reader are imposing on the story. There is nothing to say that this unicorn is going to rock up like a My Little Pony, all magical and pretty. Because that's not George R.R. Martin for us, is it? He's going to give us this gnarly ass horn on a goat with shaggy fur, because that's the environment it's got to survive in. But it's still got one horn, and it's not a fucking horse, it's a unicorn. So they do exist, just not as most folk are expecting. Cheerio!